Welcome to the Good Karma Sportfishing Podcast. I'm your host, Captain Ryan Van Fleet. So thanks for tuning in, guys. It's a midweek podcast. This one's going to be a little shorter because I'm going to focus on a tackle tip for you guys. Now, everybody's involved in the tackle business nowadays, and everybody's trying to make a buck. Although it's crazy. So I want you guys to buy stuff from, buy items like leaders and things like that, stuff that's pre-made from very reliable sources, okay, guys? I'm talking about guys that have been in the tackle game for a long time. So, especially when you're buying pre-made leaders, it's kind of like buying rig ballyhoo and the hook falls out at the end and your fish jumps off at the boat because your buddy can't get to the gaff fast enough, or he misses it because it's wavy and the boat's rocking around. So, if you're using pre-rig ballyhoo, it's going to happen to you. It's going to be on one of those days. So it's kind of like buying a pre-made leader from someone and you don't know who that someone is, or he hasn't been around a long time. Like on eBay, if you get on eBay now, everybody's got pre-made stuff out there and is trying to make a buck. I highly caution you guys against that stuff because, number one, you don't know how long that person's actually been doing that for. So, which brings me into pre-made leaders. Okay, you absolutely have to use caution whenever you buy a pre-made leader off of eBay or from anybody that has, you just have to use caution, okay? Because that's how it goes. I think that the reason why I'm saying that is that I bought pre-made leaders from certain people and they failed. The hooks have come untied. And the actual leader itself hasn't been stored correctly. It's been overexposed to sun, and you can see it glistening. You can tell that it's like that the fluorocarbon used is shitty. So it has to be shitty and cheap for some of these people to make money. Okay, so I'm just saying, I'm not being negative. I'm just warning you guys because I fell victim to that stuff before when I was learning how to do it because I'm like, I'll just pre-buy these. So please use caution, okay? Now, if you want to know how to make your own leaders, I can teach you. You just have to let me know and I'll show you. It's super easy. But now, especially when you buy the course on the bridle, so the mutton crusher, and then after that, your whole life is going to change on how you tie mutton snapper leaders. But anyways, I sometimes buy pre-made leaders, yes, because I get slammed, okay? I literally don't sleep, and when I'm working 30 days in a row, and sometimes more than that now, I cannot keep up, okay? So I now have a lot of my stinger rigs made by How You Reel and Tackle, and they do an amazing job on how they rig their stingers. And I'll put up information about those guys later, the closer we get to kingfish season with the stinger rigs for goggle eyes. So pre-made mutton snapper leaders. Here is what I recommend you use, okay? This is what I use when I need to buy pre-made leaders. Here we go. This is what I buy and who I buy them from. These are not on my site. I buy R&R Tackle, and the website is randrtackle.com. And they're called, when you go to their site, and then you click on Kite Leaders. Okay? These are pre-rigged kite leaders, okay, guys? You can buy them in 30 and 40 pound fluorocarbon, and you can buy a whole bunch that's wrapped, and they're wrapped on a yo-yo. It's just the leaders average 14 foot, 7 to 14 foot, 10 inches. Any leader used in it says any leader that's used in tournament should be checked to meet the tournament standards. They're all these leaders are wrapped on 6.5 inch yo-yo loop, so they're organized, and they're 40 pound fluorocarbon or 30 pound fluorocarbon leaders. You can also buy them in mono; they're cheaper that way. But the average price, you get a whole bunch of these pre-made leaders and you can either get them in 40-pound at $49.99, or you can get them in 30-pound fluorocarbon at $49.99. Or you can order, I think you can order the smoke blue, like monofilament as well. But yeah, that's what they said. So I'm looking at their site right now. So they're 14 foot to 7, 14 foot to 10 inches, 14 foot to 7, 14 foot to 10 inches, any leader used in tournament. Guys, they're about 14 foot leaders, okay? So here's what I do. So if I want to make a longer leader, I'll take off that 14 foot leader, and then I will attach it to my bridle system, and then basically extend it out. So I make it longer, in other words. So you can make these leader longer by adding a swivel and add more line at the top to your main line. So there's so many different ways, but honestly, when I'm drift fishing, I don't use any more than a 14 to 20 foot leader, because I don't feel that when I'm drift fishing that you need that long of a leader. Now, even when I'm on the hook, I really try to go with a 14 to 15 foot leader, because I fish a lot of rocky areas, and that really long leader, if you're not on that fish right away with clients, that fish it tends to rock you up a lot. So I try to use about a 14 to 15 foot leader. So that's why I really like these. And the hooks are 6/0 circles. I use big hooks, man. I use 5s and 6s just for pilchards. So that's what I use. Honestly, it's the fish. I mean, unless you're looking for sailfish or something, those fish, the bigger hook, the better. And I'll talk about that more in another podcast, and I'll show you guys some examples through some courses as well. But that's what I recommend you guys buy. Buy these pre-rigged kite leaders and turn them into mutton leaders. So they have at the end, they have the loop that attaches to your swivel, like for a kite, but you just cut that off and then you tie it to your standard barrel swivel, or to the mutton crusher that you'll learn more about by buying the course. But anyways, you can do whatever you want. I'm just telling you, these are the pre-rigged kite leaders that basically are the best pre-rigged mutton snapper leaders you can buy. Okay? That's it. Ray Rosher has been around for a very, very long time. He has a very, very successful charter boat fleet in Miami that's withstood almost every challenge in South Florida for several years, and he's still ticking. So him and his wife started this tackle shop, and he's tweaked stuff over the years, and everything that he puts on this site is stuff that he uses and tests on his charter boat, the Miss Brit. If you don't know who the Miss Brit is, you probably should look it up. So I'm just saying, there's a lot of new guys to fishing that are listening to this, and I have a lot of respect for guys like Captain Ray, and the guys have been doing it a long time, because they withstand everything, and they know how to run a business, and they're really good fishermen, and I highly respect that more than anything else. There's a lot of guys that catch fish all the time, but I really don't care, because the bottom line is that the guys that have given value back to people like Ray, and he's given a lot of value back to the community, and he's taught a lot of people a lot of things. And with what he's doing with the tackle stuff is amazing, because the stuff is hard to find, and hard to find quality stuff. So I use all his deep drop stuff too for queens, and mostly for snowies, So I make my own deep drop stuff too. But for the heavier stuff, I buy the R&R Tackle deep drop stuff, and that's on the site too. But I'm not talking about deep drop today. There's just a whole bunch of stuff, and I know 90% of the guys I know, these are the rigs they buy, because he changed his hooks around, and the stuff doesn't rust. And he's got the glow swivels on there, and these are what the guys use when they go to the Bahamas. But like I said, I own a few of these rigs, but I mostly make a lot of my deep drop stuff, which I'll talk about in the future. But pre-rig rigs, buy them from a very, very reliable source, okay? Don't end up like me, buying them from somebody who thinks that, I thought it was really good, and they're not, because they were selling leaders and watching me bust off fish because the hook came undone. And because it just comes untied. Nothing's worse than buying a pre-made rig and you see that little curly cue at the end when you've hooked up with a big fish from somebody that said they knew what they were doing. So don't let that be you, because, oh my God, I will never let that happen to me again. So hence why I make my own stuff now. Like I said, if you want to learn how to make your own Mutton Snapper leaders, just let me know and I'll show you. I've talked about it several times, and it's not hard to do. But if you want to make a bunch of them, that's hard. That's hard. So, like I said, and sometimes you're getting in the heat of the bite. It's like making your own kite leaders. Don't make your kite leaders. Buy these, man. These are kick-ass. So, and you're going to save so much time. And not to mention, it's like they're already wrapped on a yo-yo. You just grab the yo-yo and go. So, time is money, man. Time is money. So, that's that. I hope it helps you guys out. It's all about helping you guys. I'm not going to make everybody happy. I know that. And it goes back to a lot of podcasts that not everybody's going to like me. So, but I want to definitely here to help guys get better. And part of that is by being brutally honest. Okay. And the only way you're going to get better is to be like honest with yourself and know that you can do certain things and get better. And that's called practice. So, like I said, one thing you can do if you want to learn how to make your own Mutton Snapper leaders is to buy this stuff from R&R Tackle and then mimic it, copy it, and then see how he wraps it around, and then it'll really help you see how some of that organization is done as well. So how the professionals do it, and that's how the professional kite guys wrap all their leaders. They have all these big rigging parties that they have, and then they rig all their leaders, and I don't do that kind of stuff. So I'm not a tournament guy. I fish every charter like it's a tournament. So, and that's every day is how I approach my fishing charters. But yeah, no, it's all good. I really want you guys to get better. And with that being said, I just finished the part 1 of a wahoo fishing course that I'm going to release tomorrow, more than likely, if I can get it all uploaded and edited. And there's going to be a series of these. Now, there's going to be an early buy for the series. I'm not sure. I'm going to do these in different parts because there's just so much stuff that goes with what I do that it would take, like, the seminar would be like 48 hours of nothing but video. So I'm going to do a lot of small little videos because really that's all I have time for. And so the video tomorrow is going to be, I'm going to start talking about running baits deep, okay, with downriggers. I know I have a lot of questions about downriggers, so I'm going to focus on downriggers. I'm going to show you 2 ways that I run baits deep that I have not shown you yet because I've kept them very secret. And I will show you those in the video. And then there will also be, for the guys that buy the series early, you will get the tip. Okay, and tomorrow's tip is a Mutton Snapper tip. Now, it's just not a how-to because I'm going to be talking while I'm rigging, talking to you guys about where to put your leaders and kind of how I do it. So it's a little different, so you have to pay close attention to the video while you look at the product. And they're short for a reason because that's the attention grab. I want you guys to be able to retain that knowledge before we move on to the next part. Because that's how I learn. I don't learn in long. I fall asleep, honestly, with long stuff, in long seminars. So that's probably why I don't do any long seminars, because I know I'd probably fall asleep trying to provide content, to be honest with you, because my attention span is not that great. But when I'm outside the boat. So that's something to look forward to. I'm not sure what I'm going to price it at yet. And it's probably this series, I think, because it's going to be released in steps because I need to be on the water. So when you buy the course, I'm going to ask you guys not to email me and ask me when the second one's coming out because I got to have some weather. So, and right now it's kind of shitty out. So, but what you're going to see is you're going to be able to order the stuff that I'm using if you want to try it. And then what I'm going to do down the line is we're going to do a segment of just planer fishing without downriggers to show you how that's done and how I recommend it's done. And you're going to see some stuff that you've never seen before on videos or any other seminars. It's not going to be just standard shit. Okay, you're going to learn something. And we're going to, and then in some other ones, I'm going to talk about the pattern on how to run the stuff, because I can tell you what, 90% of the people out there fishing beside me are not doing it right. So I'm going to teach you guys what to do and how to do it. Sorry if I offended anybody. It's not meant to offend anybody. I'm just telling you. So when I see a guy trolling straight against the current, I'm just like, yep, I'm just going to buzz by him and catch the fish that he's missing. So, and that's the way we all think out there. I'm just being honest. That's how a professional captain or a guy that's like in the money or a guy that knows where the wahoo are at thinks. So, and I want to bring you guys to that level. So I want you guys to be better, and then I want you guys to be successful this winter. And that's just not catching a wahoo on the full moon, yippee skippy, super easy. You're going to get 3 to 4 bites on certain moons. I want to teach you guys how to get these bites all the time, because anybody that thinks that these fish only bite on certain tide phases, okay, certain moons, let them think that, okay? That's not how it works. So I'm just going to leave it at that, because I got to share some stuff in the course. I got to save some stuff for the guys that really, really want to take it to the next level, and I'm going to help you guys. So I'm going to share a lot of stuff I probably shouldn't share, but it's that I'll probably get in trouble for sharing from people, but I don't really care, because I'm here to make people better, and that's what God put me on the earth for. Okay, is I really believe that I want to make people better, because that's the way that things need to be in the world right now. So it is messed up out there. I've had some encounters with people that I never thought I would have to encounter. And then I seen those poor kids, I shouldn't say they were kids, that were murdered in Polk County that were fishing. Okay? So, man, there's just some really fucked up stuff going on out there. So if I can help a couple guys get better and change their minds and make them better, I'm going to. If that's what I want to do, because that's the only thing that's helping me through some of this stuff, is making other people better. And honestly, that's it. Because I could, charter fishing, man. I go out there every day. I've got a job to do, and my job is to make my clients have one hell of a good time. And it makes me feel good. So when I do that. But that's only a small portion of my life, of life in general, is charter fishing. Okay? It's fishing. Okay? I really enjoy going out there and fishing and making people happy. That's what I enjoy. That's what I love to do. Okay? But I can only make so many people happy on my boat. I mean, I want to you guys probably are laughing at me because I'm going off on a tangent, but it is what it is. I'm just telling you how I feel. So I'm going to be doing some stuff with the coursework for guys that want to take it to the next level, and the guys that get it. Okay? And there's guys out there that get it. So, and they're going to put in the work, because I'm going to give them the work, and they're going to do it. And I know they will, because they got me to help them. So, and that's what I'm here for. All right, I got to go. Buy those leaders. Don't buy from don't make any weird purchases in the middle of the night, like I've done in the past, thinking that this guy has some almighty secret. So, oh my God, if I could go back, and I would be super rich, honestly, and my wife wouldn't yell at me so much for spending money on gear that I didn't need. It goes into the yard sale. Or the worst yet is seeing a client cry because he loses a fish of a lifetime because I bought a Mutton Snapper leader off some guy that said he was an expert, and the leader came unraveled and the hook fell out of his mouth, and the girl looks up at me and starts crying because she lost her fish. That is a horrible feeling. especially when you don't have control over that. I can own my own mistakes. I'm very good at that, but I can't own defective gear that I purchased. So, something to think about. All right, guys, I got to roll. Follow me on Instagram, goodkarmasportfishing_FL_keys. Check out my website, www.goodkarmasportfishing.com. And then my tackle site is www.goodkarmafishingtackle.com. I uploaded some new shirts on there. It's the Buddha says, anytime you're fishing, it's all good. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and catch you next time.